Danielle here, and I just wanted to give you a quick flip through of my finished Day in the Life album for this year. So yeah, I took part in the March Day in the Life that Ali Edwards runs. She runs 2 every year, and this is like the first one. So I used her story, the main kit for this, which is this album, and then a lot of the kind of bits and pieces from the kit. So there were sort of quite a few like stickers, stamps, these kind of guys, like a few kind of cute bits and pieces. So I've kind of used those amongst other bits and pieces from Ali's sort of story kit. So yeah, so I'll just kind of talk through it as I go. So I used some of the chipboard pieces because I've got a lot of chipboard pieces, so I'm kind of incorporating them into the mix. So I used a little chipboard piece on some acetate. This paper is from the Rainbows scrapbook kit. It's a 6x8 pattern paper, but I just trimmed like the lower half of it because I wanted to use that as my kind of album cover. And then and then I circle punched out. Ali gave a freebie of her handwriting, and so I just circle punched that out and then stuck that on the top as well, just to kind of make sure I had the date down. I've used a lot, I've kind of done a bit of a story kit crush, so I've used a lot of journal cards and bits and pieces from other story kits because I don't do Project Life, so I have a lot of journal cards like hanging around, so it's a good opportunity for me to use them. Sorry if you can hear. I've shut her out for a couple of minutes and she's already kicking off. Yeah, so I used quite a few of the bits and pieces from like the mornings kit, which this journal card is from, backed on a piece of pattern paper. And then basically the formula that I've used for this kind of album is 2 small journal cards stitched together, a lot of kind of repeated stamping, and then a larger journal card. So yeah, that's kind of how I've made it work for me, because I didn't want to do it in the page protectors, so I knew I wanted to work outside of it, but I still wanted that kind of page protector kind of feel. So stitching between the 2 of them seems to have worked really well. I'm quite pleased with how it looks as well. So yeah, this is just repeated date stamping of the time in the morning when I woke up and Clem was outside already shouting, which he is now. And then just the little morning routine, and then the little rainbows. There's these puffy rainbows stickers which are so cute, so I've used quite a few of those in the mix. And then I'm just kind of like going through again, trying to use those journal cards. So found a few from like the mornings kit, just took a picture of like the bits and pieces in my shower, and then like the time again. Just a little kind of run through of like what I do in the shower in terms of like, you know, my shampoo and bits and pieces. Again, a bit random, but I just sort of thought it might be quite fun to look back on, because in like years to come when my routine might have changed slightly. And then this is after showering and then going upstairs. I put up my makeup, so I kind of put all my main makeup out on the desk and took a photo of it, again just to see kind of in a couple of years if that changes, and then kind of used some digital bits and pieces that I kind of used. So this was a big tag that I chopped down into a journal card, added a chipboard piece onto it. This is outside our office we have this sign up on the wall, so I just took a picture of that, and then again repeated date stamp and rainbows. Yeah, then I'm just sort of talking about kind of what I was doing that morning. So yeah, getting up, having a shower, putting on makeup. Chris was already in the office because he was working that day, but I had the day off. And then talking about like watering my plants because they were looking a bit droopy. So I took a picture of me spritzing them, and then just sort of did this "you are very strong, love you" talking to my plants, because yeah, they put up with a lot of me sort of haphazardly watering them. I did Wordle. I do Wordle every day, so yeah, so I did a Wordle, got it in free. So I just did a little use the enjoying on the top, and I got it. And then these are some bits and pieces from the Laugh Story kit that you kind of added in. This is an old Case of the Blahs paper from Pink Fresh that I just added in because the colours really worked well with the Wordle. So I just kind of added a couple of embellishments on the top. That's a Felicity Jane chipboard piece. Yes, just kind of give it a bit more dimension. I'm backing these with some of the bits from the kit, but I do have just in my stash like some old chipboard half circle pieces, and they do sandwich nicely with the ones from the kit, so I've just been kind of sandwiching them as I've gone. Just took a picture of my breakfast, so and then sort of talked about my little kind of to-do list for the day, which was to sort of walk to the village, grab coffee and lunch, get some tulips, have lunch with Chris, and then like do some crafting in the afternoon because I had the day off. Use this breakfast journal card, and then added on a today's story and a little puffy rainbow. And then just saying like again like some bits from the other story kits, and it's just yes. So I went into our village and went to the coffee shop, and they had they've got these really cool like irregular mirrors, so I used that as a chance to take a picture of myself to kind of get me in the camera while I was waiting for her to make my coffee. Then went and had it by the there's like a little pond in the village, so I went there and sat down on the bench and had my drink, and there were these little birds around, so I took a little picture of Blackbird that was eating some crumbs. Just took a picture of myself with my coffee, and then just kind of I did a free panel here so I could fold that over, so that works really well actually as well. If you stitch it really kind of neatly, then you end up with another little flip, so it's really fun way of doing things. And I quite like the stitching on the upper side as well, it's cute. Used still Ali handwriting, this little moments mean so much. Took a picture of the lake, little pond with the ducks, and just a little feeling. And then I used an old journal card to add in basically my story about like going to the village, and then like talking about like the duck pond and talking about like the weather being nice, so I was able to get like an iced coffee and talking about like the birds and things. So yeah, it's just a nice kind of chilled out trip into the village. On my way I was listening to a Grounded podcast by Flip-Thru. He was talking to Rose McGowan, so it was quite heavy as a topic, but you know, she's amazing. So yeah, it was all sort of talking about the Me Too movement and her kind of part to play in that. So I used one of the Journal Custom Strength kit, which said my story is one of strength and weakness, but both make me who I am today. So I just thought that was really relevant because it kind of worked really well with the podcast I was listening to. Took a picture of just the village on my way home, so, and then again like date timestamped that, which was nice. The weather was gorgeous by the time I was walking home as well. It was really lovely. Just took a little picture of my watch when I got in, just to kind of see how I was doing with my sort of exercise for the day. I brought some sausage rolls in the bakery for me and Chris for lunch, so just took a little picture of my legs on the sofa with my drink and my sausage roll and some of the packaging from the kitchen when I put my tulips in. So that was fun. Then I kind of had the afternoon to myself, so I sort of took a picture of what I was listening to at the time, which was I'm sort of back on Nothing But Thieves at the moment, so I've been listening to one of their old albums from like 2015 but I love it so much, it's an amazing album. So yes, I've basically had that on repeat. Then took a little picture of myself, a little selfie, used this Life Right Now from one of the old kits, and then added in a little note to myself about sort of it being okay to sort of take time off and not check my emails and just sort of do things for me. So that's just a nice little reminder to myself in there. And then I was listening to podcasts and things, so I was listening to Free Bean Salad, which is, I love it, it's such a mad fun podcast. So I just sandwiched that with one of the action kits. So I'm looking for things where the colours match, so there's like yellow, orange and green in here, and then the green and the blue and the pink sort of all kind of works with these journal cards, and then some of the embellishments from the Laugh kit. So, and because it's such a funny podcast as well, they all kind of work well together. So I'm always kind of conscious I'm looking for colours to kind of pull everything together. Oops. Then I did a little bit of reading. So I read, I'm reading Mel Brooks's autobiography at the moment, which is, I mean, he's amazing, so it's just brilliant. So I just looked for a quick little Mel Brooks quote online, and then I just did this myself on a little journal card. So just printed out a quote of his and then just put Mel Brooks at the bottom. And the good thing about doing that is then you can kind of be conscious about the colours that you use, so you can pull it all together. The reading sticker was, chipboard sticker was green, so then I knew I needed to add in some other bits of green, so I used this little stories from today, a little green star, but then obviously knowing the book was black, white and red, then I made sure that this was black, white and red, and then I had another journal card that was sort of red and white to kind of all pull it all together. So again, just being sort of intentional about the colours I use and how it all works. Then I did a bit of jelly plating, so I just sort of talking about beginnings and sort of how, you know, kind of learning how to do things, and it's, you know, messy but fun. So just to pick a picture of my hands while they were sort of covered in paint and use this little working, because that's basically what I was doing today, that was, well, on that day that was working. And then I added just a little bit of one of the jelly plates I did into the album as well, because it all kind of pulls it all together. Took a little picture of the BBC News and sort of the Guardian websites, because obviously everything's been, well, was kicking off fully in Ukraine at the time, so and obviously still is, you know. So I just sort of took a picture of the Guardian front page and kind of the stories of the day as well, just kind of a little breakdown, so I could look back and see kind of what was going on that day, and kind of added that into the album as well, because I knew I wanted to kind of capture what was happening that day. And then Chris was studying, he's studying at the moment to do, he's qualifying as a chartered governance professional, like a sort of company secretarial role. So yeah, he's been studying for that every Thursday. So he was upstairs doing that after work. So I was downstairs watching reruns of Queer Eye and crying, as you do. So I just kind of took a little picture of one of the Queer Eye sort of things online, and then used that to kind of match in with my watching. And then timestamped that, and talked about also what we were having for our tea, which was a pizza. This company does sends you all like the elements to make your own pizzas, so the dough and everything like that, so you just kind of like roll it out and then you cook it in like a frying pan in the oven, on top of the oven, and then you put it in the oven under the grill to kind of finish it off. So I just took a picture of my feet in the box, and then the finished sort of pizza, we kind of, because it took a little bit of a while to cook, we kind of chopped our two pizzas in half and kind of smushed them together, so that's why it looks a bit irregular. And then I also just wanted to kind of incorporate a bit of the packaging, so there was a sort of sheet that came with it that kind of explained everything we needed to do, so I just sort of trimmed that down and put that in the album as well. So kind of looking for packaging and receipts and things where you can kind of add them in like ephemera. And then the last picture was just when we went to bed, so just took a picture of Chris and Clem, he's giving her cuddles, so yeah, just kind of finished off with that with a timestamp, and then just some more of these little chipboard pieces, and then just a little evening routine. So yeah, that's it really. I mean, it's quite chunky, so I don't know how I'll do about trying to fit 2 days worth of day in the lives in here. I might have to put that in another one in a different album when it comes later in the year, but yeah, in the meantime I'm sort of pleased with how that worked, and like, yeah, glad that it was like a nice small easy project after the December daily being such a monster. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how it all finished and turned out in the end. If you have any questions about anything in the video, then feel free to pop a comment below and I'll come back to you. And yeah, other than that, I hope you're all well, and I'll be back again soon with another something. Okay, until next time guys, take care, bye.